question. What are your goals for the team this week?
You know, it's our first opportunity to run against some Big Ten teams. So I think really one of the goals is just to kind of see where we fit in. Wisconsin's bringing a small group, and Michigan's bringing probably their main group. Michigan was second at Big Tens last year, so it'll give us a really good idea of kind of where we sit. You know, even though it's only 2 schools, it's going to give us an opportunity to see what we need to do in the next month to give ourselves a fighting chance to have good success in the Big Ten meet. So I think the goal is really to kind of try to mix it up with those 2 teams and see where where the chips fall as the meet finishes.
What have you been doing this week to make sure you guys are ready to compete against such big schools?
Well, you know, we've actually been working really hard, and a lot of times when you have a meet come up that you want to see where you're at, usually the tendency is to back off so they feel good come Friday. And it's still too early for us to do that. You know, I don't want to sacrifice anything now for an early meet to give us the opportunity to race better at the end of the year. So actually we've been going at it hard, just like we have, up to this point. And so I think that's, I guess we really haven't been doing too much to really get ready for this meet. We're continuing to look for the future, but I think we're still going to be able to come in feeling pretty good, and try to mix it up and race. And that's what most colleges are doing right now.
You may have answered my other questions here. I was going to ask, is this going to give you a good view of how your team's going to do the rest of the year?
Mm-hmm. Well, I think it's going to give us a little bit of an idea. We've got, obviously, this meet, and we 2 weeks after we go up to Loyola in Chicago to race up there. I think that's going to be a bigger meet, and we just haven't been in a big meet yet. I think the most people we've had in a race is in the 60s, and it'll be way less than that this weekend. So, we'll go to Loyola. There'll be 200 and some odd people in the race up there, which will give us a real good opportunity to have a lot of people around us and be able to compete against others. A lot of times right now with the smaller meets, it's having your teammates there or really having to fight by yourself because there's just not a lot of people around to compete against, just because the masses aren't there, the numbers aren't there. So that meet's going to give us a good opportunity. But really the meet up in Wisconsin on a Friday in the middle of October is really going to give us a good idea of kind of where we stand, because I think almost every single Big Ten team is going to be there, along with a lot of really good teams from across the nation. And I wouldn't be surprised if there's 15 or 16 ranked teams at that meet, which is going to be, we're going to be a little bit over our head when we get there, just because we're really young right now. But they need to understand, what is it going to take to be back. So we're a ranked team. What is it going to take to be back in the top echelon of the Big Ten? And so that's why we're going and doing some of these different meets to get that experience, and then come back here home for the Big Ten meet, which is going to be a lot of fun.
All right. Is home field advantage this weekend a key factor?
It is a little bit. We practice out on there. We did a hard workout out on the course on Tuesday. So we know the course, more so than these other schools do, because they've never run it before. But that's why we had this meet, to give the opportunity for people to preview the course, and that's why it's called the Orange and Blue Preview for the Big Ten meet. And I think giving it's not the exact same course as we normally run. It's a little bit different than what we've run in the past. So knowing where things are at and how to run it, yes, is definitely a comfort factor for sure. But there's still some new pieces to it for us that we need to make sure that we're okay with as we move forward.
Any more?
Who do you think is your toughest competitor this weekend?
Oh, by far Michigan. They have a very good veteran group in that team, and they also had a really good incoming in class. And so, I think with the mix of that, in my opinion, they're the favorites to win the Big Ten title this year on the women's side. And, I think that's why Coach McGuire's coming down, because he wants to see the course, so they're ready for the Big Ten meet. So I definitely say that they are. And for us to be able to, try to go up and mix it up with them and see where we're at, like I said before, is going to give us a good opportunity to see, okay, where are we at? What do we need to continue to do to get better? And, what do we need to do to get to that level?